greeting and welcome to Poketalk News, the investigative journalism show where we take a look at popular stories from the past week and build a Pokemon team out of them. Now, not every story fits a Pokemon. There are some honorable mentions, like that it was the 40-year anniversary of the Challenger explosion, Sinners dominated at the Oscar nominations, and Jack Smith began testifying in front of Congress. But let's get to tonight's stories. Starting off with possibly the biggest and most controversial story in the news this week, ICE has executed yet another U.S. citizen. Not that that should matter. His name was Alex Jeffrey Preddy, and we have picked an ICE Pokemon who likes to display their victims, the way that pundits on Fox News keep displaying these victims as criminals or domestic terrorists without any evidence of it. This Pokemon also is someone who, when they knock on your door, you should not answer. It's Froslass. Staying with ICE earlier in the week on Tuesday, a 5-year-old boy was taken by the agency from his home in Minneapolis and moved to a detention facility in Texas, despite the fact that there were adults in his home willing to take him and take care of him. It is important that we do not forget about Liam Conejas Ramos and his blue Azumarill hat. Moving now to a different kind of ice, a winter storm has swept the eastern United States, leaving many Texans in fear of if the electric grid will fail again like in 2021. Because how can we possibly expect ERCOT to stand up to Articuno? On Thursday, the United States announced it is withdrawing from the World Health Organization. I would say turn to Chansey for your medical care, but after reading the news, she fainted. Turning now to international news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stood in front of European leaders this week and said it feels like Groundhog Day, as he once again begs European leaders to respond to the Russian threat. For this, we have Watchog. Lastly tonight, in an attempt to find any bit of good news after the week we've had, we turn to pop culture. On Sunday, Game of Thrones spin-off A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms premiered, where the character Lionel Baratheon stole the show, channeling a little bit of his great-grandchild, Renly Baratheon. So we look to our fairy stag, Xerneas. That's it for this week's news. Would you play with this team? Thank you so much for tuning into Poketalk News. My name is Maddie, and I'll see you next week.